What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev says to Anthony Joshua, he says, calm down, champ. I see that you are very worried to fight away from home, and you're absolutely right to be. Ha ha, but rest assured, if necessary, I'm ready to come to London and bust you up in front of your own fans. Wow. Ho, ho, ho. You know, those subtle, calm messages like that are the most impactful. Okay? When you say things like that, it's not... You can tell it's trash talk, but at the same time, you can tell it's like something Drago would do. You know, I must break you. You're dead. You know, like I will bust you up in front of your people. Dude, you know, so these are the words from Kubrat Pulev. This was a powerful statement. Now, it's another thing to do it. You know, Kubrat Pulev, he can punch. And this tells you that, first of all, to dig into the body of the message. The body of this message is, he's stating that Anthony Joshua has problems fighting outside of London. He says that his aura and invincibility lies only within the UK. But this is not a bluff call, okay? This is like one of those things where he's saying, hey, I will go and fight you if necessary. Now that's something different. But he said, I'm ready to come to London and bust you up. Okay, now that's a bluff call. Do it. Because you think that Anthony Joshua needs to be in London in order to fight. If he really believes that, that's a warrior's mentality. Why? Because he's saying, if I beat Anthony Joshua on UK soil, that would dismantle anything that anybody else has done. And he would be right. Why? Because Anthony Joshua came to America and he lost, right? As much as Anthony Joshua wanted to come back to Madison Square Garden, New York, he was persuaded by Eddie Hearn, along with a handful of Saudis, to have the fight in Saudi Arabia for a lot of money. Understandable. But in Saudi Arabia, what type of performance did he did? It was a stellar performance. But it was a boxing performance. It wasn't that massive, destructive Anthony Joshua that we are accustomed to seeing. The kind of dude that knocked out Povetkin in 7 rounds. The kind of dude that KO'd Klitschko and almost took his head off with an uppercut. That kind of dude. That wasn't the case. Okay, so a lot of people, not myself, but a lot of people are curious to see what Anthony Joshua and what style will Anthony Joshua have coming back. Okay, wow, the lights just went off. This was weird. Okay, let's take this outside. That was really, really weird. The lights are off. Okay. That was new. Okay. So we'll see what kind of style that he fights with. A lot of people want to know, what type of Anthony Joshua will we get? Will we get the Anthony Joshua that had to change his style up for a particular fighter, and that's the style that he's going to go with from now on? Or was that just what he was doing on that day with Andy Ruiz? Because he knew Ruiz had a beard, and he knew that Ruiz was dangerous when he got hurt himself. Okay, so I think Kubrat is picking along on those lines of, okay, I know you have problems fighting outside of London, so if necessary, I'll come to London. Now, here's the problem. Just say you'll come to London. That's my counterpunch to Pulev. Just say, hey, don't worry, I'm coming to London to bust you up. That's more of a direct message. I think this was more of a bluff. Why? Because now Kubrat Pulev saying, well, hey, if necessary. Well, if you said all that to say this, and you want to be revered like people want you to think, or want people to believe that you don't care where you fight him in the UK. Because Anthony Joshua has fought in Saudi Arabia and America, so he's 1-1. Okay, so Kubrat Pulev, you need to come to London, because yes, it is necessary. Come to London, fight Anthony Joshua, smash Anthony Joshua in front of his own people, right? And then you will be the unified heavyweight champion of the world, in fact, the new one. And Bob Arum could now say, I told you bastards he was going to knock him out. But yeah, but this is, some trash talk in the making. It would have been concrete if he would have said it in the right ways. A lot of these guys, they need PR work, honestly, before they make statements. Honestly, I think that Pulev he's a good fighter. He only lost once. And that's to Klitschko, just like Povetkin. He only lost once. It was to Klitschko. So, to me, it seems like Joshua is taking out all the ex-Dorotas, the guys that got beat by Vladimir Klitschko. He's taking them out. He's like he's picking off where Klitschko left off. Well, Klitschko did it, I can do it too. Why not? Let's get it done, right? So I think that fight should happen in London. Now it should definitely happen in London, simply because Pulev has called. He's called the bluff. He's bluffing. And he needs to come to the UK. And at this point now, we understand that since you've made that statement on Twitter, right, social media, there's no excuse now you saying that I want it all the way in Turkey or wherever, like he claimed it to be Istanbul, right? He wanted it in Istanbul because of some, a fan base he has. Okay, well, if you made a statement like that, then there's no need to make it there. You should just pick one of those arenas in the UK and do exactly what you did or say you were going to do in this Twitter post. That's what Kubrat Pulev should do. Because see, look, Pulev was on the verge of losing everything for doing something very stupid. Now he's in a position to get everything. People don't understand. Once you get in front of Anthony Joshua, there's so many other opportunities. For one, you become rich. For two, you can become a multiple champion like Andy Ruiz became. And for three, you can be Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury best buddy or worst enemy all at the same damn time. You can become all three of those things when you fight Anthony Joshua. And depends on what your personality is, you can make a name for yourself. And if your name is attached to someone like Joshua, yes, and you've beat Joshua, even if you rock Joshua and give Joshua a hard time, there's always room for a rematch. Look at Wilder Ortiz. Ortiz rocked Wilder, had him out on his feet, right? So according to Wilder, that was enough, a big enough excuse to give him a rematch, because he did have Deontay in trouble, and Deontay knew that. He knew he was in trouble in that fight, so that is well enough. So if Kubrat Pulev can make his mark, even if he loses, he could possibly get another rematch with Anthony Joshua. I know it's a mandatory, but here's the thing. Performances, they speak for themselves. So if you see a good fight, like, oh, man, just like the Ortiz-Wilder fight, man, Ortiz had him. He had him, man. He had this man, and then he ran out of gas. What'll happen in the next fight? You know what I mean? So it's like one of those situations. So Kubrat Pulev, he's talking about smashing people like the Hulk and stuff like that, threatening to go to London. Don't threaten to go to London. Promise to go to London. Come to the UK. Promise to go to the UK. Do exactly what you did, and you will be praised for it. Why? Because he's already said it. Speak it, believe it, receive it, right? When people speak something and they believe it and they actually do it, they do something they say they're going to do, you know for a fact, without a doubt, that that person is not full of shit, because that person has done exactly what they said they were going to do. And Kubrat has said it. Let's see him deliver. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Kubrat Pulev's statements towards Anthony Joshua, smashing him up. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.